Ronnie, how you doing, my friend? I think I've got a shape somewhere near what I think you need, you want. So I'll show you. Sorry, I'm joking, mate. I'm joking. There you go, buddy. I've taken this down to about 40mm, tapered this as well, so it's a nice grip. What I've done there, instead of tape, I noticed yours tapered down to nothing. I'll put a hole in there as well. I don't know how you feel about it, mate, but like on a knife or anything, I like it to have a stop. So it doesn't sort of fall out your hand. I hope this is okay. What I'll do is I'll leave these in, so that what you can do is, if you want any changes to it, mate, send it back to me and I'll gladly turn it and send it back to you. So yeah, I hope you like the very simple design, mate. It needs a damn good sanding yet. There's your flat spot in there. But you see, oak has got quite an open, what we call an open grain. So if you can see in there, certain parts of the grain, depending on the cut of the grain, whether it's quarter sawn or crown cut, that would be like the crown cut showing the flames, but it is quite open. So it you can feel that. I'm hoping to sand a lot of that out for you, buddy. You see, like here, it's kind of dead smooth, and again opens up, but that's the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. Same on the handle there. This is all nice and smooth, nice smooth end grain. Like I say, that's the kind of shape that I've come up with. I will be sanding this, got a lot more sanding to do onto it. But yeah, that's basically it. The reason I got this out is this is my old stair making mallet when I was at college, so that's 20 odd years ago, nearly 30, 20, yeah, we won't go there, but that's beech, and what that has had on it is linseed oil, but I soaked that in linseed oil for about 3 months. Just took the head off and it was in the linseed oil, and it's hard as anything. Now, I don't know what you want me to put onto that. And there goes my phone. Just a minute. Sorry, wrong bloody phone. Where was I? Right. Yes, so this is a beech mallet that I made 20 odd years ago. And I soaked it in linseed oil. I think it was in a bucket of linseed oil for about 3 months. But what it will do to the wood, I know beech is quite hard anyway. Excuse my work. Just as a, I don't do this all the time, but it's just to give you an idea of what the oil does. Big block of timber and a nail. Just got a few little marks there. So that is obviously the strength of the wood, and the oil. It's the oil that's obviously impregnated, so it will knock in a 4-inch nail. I could bury that home, but I don't really want it in there. So yeah, so that's that. But so it's whatever you want me to do with this, bud. like I say, I will probably put a coat of linseed oil on it anyway, but it will take a few days to dry out, and then I'll send it up to you wrapped in a bag, and just obviously take it out of the bag, let it dry out, and you should be good to go. Obviously, the more oil we put in it, the more protection it gives it, feeds the wood, that sort of stuff, closes the fibres up, the grain. So yeah, so Ronnie, I hope you like that, my friend. I've got a bit more sanding to do, or quite a bit more, because I'm not really happy with the finish. So it's going to go back on the lathe, and you'll see the finished product when you open the packaging. So I hope that's all right. PM me your address, buddy. Excuse me, and I will get that off to you in the next few days, mate. Hope that's okay. Ron, all the best, mate. If you did want to do me a pouch, you don't have to, mate. Please don't feel obliged to, because I've done you this. But yeah, anything that you think of, whatever's easy for you to make, whatever's the cheapest for you to make. You really don't have to bother, my friend. So yeah, and I'll keep saying again. So all the best to you, Ron. Take care, my friend. Hope it serves you well, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, mate. Right, last little bit, I promise. What I've done, Ron, is I've put some grain filler in this. Let's lift you up. It's a little bit yellowy, but that will disappear when we put a finish on it. So yeah, hope it's okay for you, bud. But this next bit is just a little bit of info for anyone. It's just stuff that I've picked up over the years. Obviously, I like the finished stuff on the lathe, and I do tend to use this. Purely because it seals it and it finishes it, and then after I put that on, I then put some of this on, which is that carnauba wax, however you want to pronounce it, and I buy it in the block from these guys. Don't mention the name, but there we go. And that's how I finish a piece, whether it be like a vase or, you know, something small like that, a decorative item. That's how I'd finish it. That seals and finishes it, and then that just puts the extra shine on it. So that's that. When I apply finishes, I use polishing this, which is basically just strips of cotton, and what that does is if you're polishing with that and it ever gets caught up in the lathe or any part of it, it will just rip off. It will just shred and won't pull your arm into it. And also that is good for putting inside a bit of cotton for finishing, French polishes, that sort of stuff. So it's just, yeah, shredded cotton that obviously won't pull your arm off when you're finishing. You can also use it for burnishing, which I tend to use if I'm burnishing something, some of the same material that I've taken off, and obviously you just run that along the lathe, and it will finish it. But I'll also put it underneath the cotton so I get better contours, doesn't burn my hands. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of it here if you don't mind, Ron. Will you use your mallet as a bit of a guinea pig? So yeah. Oh, speed wise, obviously I use slower speeds for cutting, for turning, and then higher speeds for polishing, that sort of stuff. So I've got it quite a high speed at the moment, but again, just for burnishing, sorry about that, I just kicked the tripod over. Yeah, so as I'm burnishing, obviously you can use that. Yeah, so I get to before I was rudely interrupted. Sorry, there's not much to see, but I am still here. Yeah, so I tend to use, for fine sanding, this stuff, which is like emery cloth. This on the cloth as opposed to sandpaper. Very fine, you get it in all different grits. Over this. And I like it because you can hold it without burning your fingers. And it will also bend to contour into all the shapes quite nicely. You can also feel for any lumps, bumps, that sort of stuff. Camera's right in the way. So, I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of a shine on there. I don't even know if you can hear me actually. Do you see there's a bit of a shine on there now? Nice and smooth. Yeah, just see the shine along here. Just where that is highly polished. Well, not highly polished, but it's yeah, it's taken some of the bad grain out. So what I will do is, just to show you if anyone's interested, not much to look at, guys. I'll bring you back in. We're back. So what I'm going to show you just on the handle, I won't do it on the main head unless you really want me to, Ron, but just what this stuff does and why I like to use it. So you can apply it on, sorry, apply it when the lathe, or apply it on the lathe I should say. And you can get this stuff on anyhow you like. But being the handle, Ron, I just thought I'd get it on there so it, at least the handle's all sealed up, mate. So your sweaty hands don't go in and discolour the wood. Yeah, so I hope you can see that already. I like to apply a liberal amount there, and then we let that soak in. So what I'll do, we'll let that dry. I'll bring you back in a minute. Right, okay, so we're all dry there. Excuse me. Bit this cotton in a cloth, and what I do is I make like a little mouse from it, much like you do when you're doing French polishing, although I'm just making a really quick one, just so that we'll get to all the contours. Fire it up. But if you can see, it does start building a shine on it. You can see that. You don't have to press too hard. Go. So we get a nice finish on there. See, there's a bit run there, so what we'll do, just sort of burnish that out like that. See if there's any real dark bits. Push a bit harder and it will burnish it. Just a light going over. Just turn that off. And there we go, bud. Finished handle. So what we can also do for a bit of a higher shine is with some of this wax, just get that on there like so. Telling me low battery. So get some of that on. So, the wood is still on there. Just gives it that nice high shine. Like that. So that's how I finish bits on the lathe. It's got a nice sort of glassy feel to it, and it even fills in some of the grain there. So what I'll do, I may, this looks really dusty, doesn't it? Sorry. I may do that to the rest of this Ron. At least it will be sealed and finished. It's just I don't know if once you're hitting hard stuff, if it's going to crack it, that sort of thing. But I suppose you could always put it in some linseed oil. But I just like the nice sort of finish of it. So that's it, Ron. Hope that's okay, mate. I'll get that done tonight. PM me your address, and we'll get that up to you. Be cool. Stay safe. See you soon.